Have you ever wondered why some of the most successful people in the world have a history of spectacular failures? It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? We tend to view success and failure as polar opposites, but in reality they are two sides of the same coin. This is the paradox of failure and success. Take a moment and think about it. The names that grace the annals of history, the titans of industry, the pioneers of innovation, all share a common thread. They've experienced failure, not just once, but multiple times. Yet they didn't let these setbacks define them. Instead, they embraced failure, learned from it, and used it as stepping stones to reach the heights of success. Consider the case of Abraham Lincoln. Before becoming one of the most revered presidents of the United States, Lincoln faced a slew of failures. He lost his job, was defeated in numerous elections, and even suffered a nervous breakdown. But did he give up? No. He used these failures to fuel his determination, to learn, to grow, and ultimately, to lead a nation through one of its darkest times. Let's also think about Walt Disney. The man whose name is synonymous with enchanting animations and magical theme parks was once fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity. Imagine that. Yet it was this very failure that propelled him to create an empire of imagination that continues to delight and inspire millions around the globe. These stories illustrate an essential truth. Failure is not the opposite of success, but rather an integral part of it. It's the teacher that shows us where we went wrong, the guide that helps us chart a better course, and the catalyst that spurs us to work harder, dream bigger, and strive further. Yes, failure can be painful. It can bruise our ego, shake our confidence, and fill us with doubt. But it's through grappling with these challenges that we truly grow and evolve. It's through failing that we learn how to succeed. The road to success is often paved with the stones of failure. So instead of fearing failure, let's embrace it, learn from it, and use it to fuel our journey towards success. Because in the grand scheme of things, failure isn't just an option, it's a necessity. Did you know that Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, failed 1,000 times before he finally succeeded? Born in the mid-19th century, Edison was a man of extraordinary determination. He had a vision to light up the world, and he held on to that vision with an unshakable tenacity. Yet, the road to his iconic invention was far from smooth. In fact, it was littered with failure, so much so that he was dubbed the Wizard of Menlo Park, a title that acknowledges both his genius and his relentless pursuit of innovation. Edison didn't stumble upon the idea of a practical electric light bulb in one brilliant moment of insight. No, it was a grueling process of trial and error, of countless experiments that led nowhere. But even as his prototypes fizzled out, one after the other, Edison refused to see these as failures. He saw them as stepping stones, as lessons to learn from. In his mind, each unsuccessful attempt was not a dead end, but a signpost pointing him in a new direction. He once said, "I have not failed. I found 1,000 ways that won't work." These words reflect his unwavering resolve, his belief that each failure was simply a discovery of another method that didn't work, bringing him one step closer to the one that would. And then, after 1,000 attempts, it happened. He found a filament that could glow brightly for a long time without burning out. His perseverance had finally paid off. The light bulb, as we know it today, was born. But it was born out of failure, out of Edison's stubborn refusal to give up despite the odds. So what can we learn from Edison's story? It's simple. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey to success. It's a teacher, a guide, a stepping stone. It's a testament to the human spirit's capacity to persevere, to learn, and ultimately to triumph. Edison once said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." And in that perspective, we find the true essence of success. Before she became one of the most successful authors in the world, J.K. Rowling was a jobless single mother living on welfare. J.K. Rowling, the creator of the magical world of Harry Potter, didn't always have a magic wand to wave away her troubles. In the early 90s, she found herself unemployed and struggling to make ends meet. As a single mother living in Edinburgh, Scotland, Rowling was barely scraping by on welfare benefits. Her life was far from the glamorous author's life we often imagine. Her days were filled with the constant worry of providing for her daughter and the struggle to find work. Yet, amidst these hardships, she held on to a dream of a boy with a lightning-shaped scar, his adventures at a magical school, and a story that had been brewing in her mind for years. Rowling faced numerous rejections. 12 different publishers turned down the manuscript of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Each rejection was a blow, a challenge to her dream, but she didn't let it deter her. She kept going, kept writing, kept believing in her story. And then, one day, the tides turned. Bloomsbury, a small British publishing house, took a chance on Rowling and her tale of a young wizard. And the rest, as they say, is history. But it wasn't just the success of Harry Potter that defined Rowling. It was the struggle that preceded it. Her experiences of poverty and rejection seeped into her writing, giving it depth and realism amidst the fantastical elements. It shaped her perspective on life, teaching her the value of resilience, perseverance, and the importance of believing in oneself. Rowling's story is a testament to the power of failure as a stepping stone to success. It serves as a reminder that the path to success is often paved with trials and setbacks. But those who dare to dream, who embrace their failures as much as their successes, are the ones who truly make a mark. Rowling once said, "It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all." So, why is failure so important in our journey to success? You might ponder, well, failure, dear listeners, is not just a stumbling block. It's a teacher, a guide, a catalyst for growth. It's a crucial part of our journey to success, shaping our character and teaching us resilience. Let's think about the process of learning to ride a bicycle. At first we stumble, we fall, and we might even get a few scratches. But it's through these failures that we learn to balance, to coordinate, to navigate. Each fall, each stumble becomes a lesson, bringing us closer to that exhilarating moment when we finally ride unaided. That's the beauty of failure. It's a stepping stone, a tool for learning, and a pathway to growth. And so it is with life. Each failure we encounter is a lesson waiting to be learned, a challenge urging us to rise. It builds character, shaping us into stronger, wiser individuals. It teaches us resilience, helping us build a backbone of steel, ready to face whatever life throws at us. But more than that, failure is a catalyst for growth. It pushes us out of our comfort zones, forcing us to reevaluate and innovate. It's through failure that we learn to adapt, to change, to evolve. It's through failure that we grow. And yet, it's not the failure itself that's important, it's what we do with it. When we stumble, do we stay down or do we get back up? When we fail, do we give up or do we learn, adapt, and try again? The key to turning failure into a stepping stone to success lies in our response. It lies in our ability to learn from our mistakes, to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and try again. So let's not fear failure. Let's embrace it. Let's learn from it. Let's use it as a stepping stone to success. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. And that, dear listeners, is the true importance of embracing failure. But how do we overcome the fear of failure? Overcoming this fear isn't about erasing it entirely, but rather about learning to manage it effectively. It's about developing the courage to face failure head-on and use it as a stepping stone towards success. So let's dive into some practical tips and strategies to help you do just that. Firstly, we need to shift our mindset. We need to see failure not as a dead end, but rather as a detour, a redirection towards a different path. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the journey to success. Remember, even the most successful people have faced failure at some point. Secondly, set realistic goals. While it's essential to dream big, it's equally important to set achievable objectives. It's about taking small, manageable steps that will gradually lead you to your ultimate goal. When you accomplish these smaller goals, it boosts your confidence and reduces the fear of failing in the larger scheme of things. Thirdly, practice resilience. It's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. Resilience is the key to overcoming the fear of failure. It's about bouncing back, learning from your mistakes, and persisting in the face of adversity. Additionally, surround yourself with a positive support system. People who encourage you, who believe in you, and who can help you see the silver lining in every cloud. They will help you stay motivated and focused, even when things get tough. Lastly, embrace self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you stumble or fall. Understand that it's okay to make mistakes, to not know everything, to be imperfect. Self-compassion allows us to accept our flaws and shortcomings, and this acceptance is the first step towards improvement. Overcoming the fear of failure is a journey, not a destination. It's a continuous process of learning, growing, and evolving. It's about developing a mindset that sees failure as an opportunity, not an obstacle. Remember, the only real failure is the failure to try. So what does this mean for your path to success? Well, let's put it this way. The road to success isn't a straight line. It's more like a winding path with ups and downs, twists and turns. And yes, there will be times when you stumble and fall. But remember, it's not about the fall, but how you pick yourself up and keep going. Understand that failure, while often viewed negatively, is a crucial part of the journey. It's the universe's way of saying, hey, here's a lesson you need to learn. It's the tutor that gives you a pop quiz to make sure you've understood the lesson before you move on. It's the coach that pushes you beyond your limits to help you grow stronger and more resilient. Embrace failure, not as a setback, but as a learning opportunity. Every time you fail, you gain invaluable insights and experience. You learn what works and what doesn't. You learn about your strengths and weaknesses. You learn about your resilience and determination. Imagine if Thomas Edison gave up after his first attempt at inventing the light bulb, or if J.K. Rowling stopped writing after receiving multiple rejections. They didn't let failure deter them. Instead, they used it as fuel to keep going, to keep trying, to keep pushing until they achieved their goals. So, let's change the narrative. Let's stop seeing failure as the end, but as a stepping stone towards success. Let's celebrate each failure as a badge of honor, a testament to your courage, perseverance, and determination. Remember, it's okay to fail. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to be unsure or uncertain, because each failure brings you one step closer to success. Each failure makes you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So embrace failure, learn from it, grow from it, and use it to pave your path to success. As Winston Churchill once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. So, are you ready to embrace failure and pave your path to success? Let's take a quick journey back through what we've covered. We've seen how icons like Thomas Edison and J.K. Rowling were no strangers to failure. They faced it, they embraced it, and they learned from it. They didn't allow the fear of failure to hold them back. Instead, they used it as a stepping stone to success. We've discussed the paradox of failure and success. The two are not opposites, but rather, they are two sides of the same coin. You can't have success without failure. It's all part of the journey. Now it's your turn. Embrace failure. Don't let it define you. Let it teach you. Use it as a stepping stone on your path to success. Remember, every failure is a step closer to success. Keep going, keep growing, and keep learning from your failures.